few weeks ago, I did a video announcing Luminar AI. It's a new product coming forth from Skylum. It is not the same thing as the next version of Luminar 4. Since then, I had another discussion with the folks at Skylum. They provided a little bit more information. They provided a little bit more clarity and also some images. And also I've found some videos that other people have put out about the pros and cons of AI in photo software. So that's what I want to talk about in this video. Hi, my name is William Beem. I am a photographer in Central Florida, and I'm trying to help you get the most out of your photography software, which is why we're talking about a new product that hasn't arrived yet. It's coming sometime in holiday season 2020. There's no exact firm date yet, but let me go ahead and let's dive into some of the information that I found, both from Skylum and also from some other folks who are posting videos about Luminar AI on YouTube. Let's start off with a central premise. I ran across a video from a gentleman. I don't want to call him out and name him. That's not my purpose. Matter of fact, I am very grateful to him that he created the video that he did. There were some things he mentioned that I agreed with. There were some things I disagreed with. And I wanted to bring up those topics here and kind of give you my take on them based upon my background. A lot of my background is with information systems, and some of that is with artificial intelligence. So why don't we go ahead and get started here? So his first point was that AI is just another marketing buzzword. And quite honestly, that's something that I really don't agree with in this case. There are a number of products that I see and use that have a degree of artificial intelligence in them. Not everything about the software or the program is AI, but some major components are for programs that are coming from Adobe, that are coming from Skylum, On1, Topaz Labs, and probably some others that I don't know about. This is a definition that I wanted to share with you. It comes from the Brookings Institution. This is not my own definition. And basically it's saying that artificial intelligence algorithms are designed to make decisions, often using real-time data. That's exactly what's going on when Luminar AI or other programs are looking at your photos. The photo is the data, and then the AI makes decisions. They are unlike passive machines that are capable only of mechanical or predetermined responses. A lot of the software code I used to write was a predetermined response. I would say, if this, then that, or there would be a list or a for. There was no real decision-making other than what was predetermined that I knew to write in the code. When I worked with some neural networks, things worked a bit differently. You could give the algorithms training, which they could then use to make decisions, much like a person would. And that's the heart of what AI is in photography software and in other software. So I just wanted to follow up with this. They are designed by humans with intentionality and reach conclusions based on their instant analysis. In other words, the software is reaching a conclusion. It's not saying, okay, if this, then that. It's not saying for and counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 going through loops. They've been trained. They are firing in a neural network based upon their training. And the value comes from the training that they have. When I spoke with Skylum, they tell me that they're training these algorithms with about 50,000 photographs. And keep in mind, these photographs are different genres. Some are portraits, some are landscape, travel, food, what have you. And that's the whole idea, is that it is training the algorithm so that it can make decisions based upon the raw data that gets presented to it later, that raw data being your photograph. Gentleman's second point was nothing would replace hard work and experience. I kind of like this sentiment that he brought up, because I do value hard work. I do value experience. And the question is Luminar AI going to replace your experience? When I spoke with the folks at Skylum, this is a paraphrase of their answer. We built Luminar AI with human experience and emotion. In other words, the people who are creating the software, who are training the AI algorithms and the neural network inside of it, are photographers. They're post-processing experts. They know what they're looking at, and they don't just want a robot world that's going to decide what is or what isn't appropriate. There are people who are making these decisions of how to train the Luminar AI. So there's really two sides of this. One is that the people who are creating this are passionate about what they do. They want to create a good experience, and that's based upon their own experience and their emotions. This is not just, again, the robot uprising. This is a matter that people have trained the neural network what to look for and how to do it. So there is a human presence behind it. AI doesn't just come out of a box and suddenly makes decisions for you. It's been trained. It's been trained by people with experience, with emotion, and with a desire for you to get the best results that you possibly can using their software. The idea that also he brought up is if you use AI software, you're just an average person. You're not an experienced photographer. And I remember him saying, like, sorry, if that's the case, that's just the truth. Look, this comes down to something that my wife and I discussed on a recent podcast episode about, is AI killing creativity? There are going to be different types of people who need photo post-processing. There are some that I liken to craftsmen. And you think about furniture. Old world furniture used to be very ornate. It took a long time, but there was a master craftsman who was creating something. And then there are people who will go to rooms to go and say, that looks nice, I'll take it. And they never regretted their decision once. You can spend a lot of time and a lot of effort learning to use arcane photography software. And I've done that. And you can put your heart and soul into it. And I've done that too. And I don't regret that for a minute. There are also people who say, you know what? I need a photograph. I need it to look nice, because the purpose of the photograph isn't to express my artistic creativity. It is to get something done, to put on a blog post, to put on a magazine or some kind of brochure, or for whatever kind of purpose they need. They aren't interested in the long journey to master arcane tools. They need a result, and they need a result quickly, and they want that result to look good. The folks at Skylum are aiming for that market. They're not saying that you can't create beautiful photographs with Luminar AI, and I'm not saying that either. What they're saying is that you don't have to value process over results, and they're training their AI algorithms to give you the best results that they possibly can. Now, there are other aspects about this. And when I say the emphasis is on the results, it's not on the process. That's what they're talking about. There are going to be some people who say, I don't care. I want my photograph to be from my experience in retouching and post-processing. And I totally get that. And Luminar AI does allow you access to the tools. It's not making all the decisions for you if you don't want to. You can still go in and use the tools to edit your photos the way that you want them to go. So if you don't like the results that came out from the AI, you can tweak them, or you ignore the AI completely and use the tools there. But I would say that the whole purpose of Luminar AI is to get the assistance. And a little further on this slideshow, I'll show you what some of that looks like. I want you to decide the results for yourself. If you're thinking about, is the AI any good or not? This is a before photograph. And this is after, using a new tool or a new AI tool called Atmosphere AI. Take a look at the fog. When you see the fog tool in Luminar 4 right now, basically what it does is it seems to put a bit of a haze over the photograph that you have, and you can add or reduce the value of that. So how much can you see through it? But it's all in one plane. This is different. If you look at this photograph carefully, you will see that the atmosphere effects that are showing up here are kind of like they are in the real world. As you look further back, it's a bit thicker and heavier there. You don't see as close, but up close to you, it's not quite as heavy. And if you look through the depth of this photograph, you'll see that the atmosphere is in different degrees in different places. And also, it's not just like all one big screen of white that's being drawn out. So I think this is actually a pretty incredible thing. They say they've been working on this for over a year, and I kind of believe them. All right, so here's another one. This is the before photograph. This is after, using the AI tools. I don't know about you, but I'm actually pretty happy with that. They obviously didn't go through and replace the sky, which is one of the big selling features of Luminar 4 and before that, is the being able to quickly and easily replace the sky. But the color came out, the depth came out, and also I think so did the clarity. To me, this is a very nicely processed photograph. If this is not the result that you want, you can still go edit it and get the results that you want. All right, so here's another one that's featuring the Atmosphere AI. So you can see this is the before photograph, and then this is the after. I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, that's nice and interesting. Now the question is, do you believe in this kind of compositing, as being able to replace the sky or add atmosphere? I am of the opinion that a photograph is not reality. A photograph is an art form. I'm not looking to document the scene. I'm looking to represent the scene or the person, in case if I'm doing portrait photography. And you can decide, is this the representation you want? Or is this the representation you want? If you're doing things to change the color, you're changing everything in your post-processing, you're not capturing reality and representing it, because you're still looking at a two-dimensional photograph. And there are things that you don't see. So it's not reality. And quite honestly, if you're standing next to someone who is a different height or in a different position, their reality is different than yours. The whole idea that you should not or cannot add atmosphere or change the sky is a non-issue to me. To me, you're representing something. How you represent it is part of your own unique creativity. And Luminar AI is giving you different tools to enhance the way you represent something or someone. This is how the Skylum is recommending that the workflow is going to go. If you look on here, you'll see the highlight on templates. Templates are essentially what in Luminar 4 we call looks. Before that, we called them presets. But notice that there's a for you, and then there's different categories. You see creative landscape. What's going to happen is the AI is going to analyze your photograph, and then it's going to make recommendations, which you can accept or reject. You can look at and notice that there's going to be different recommendations for you as to how you may want to process this photograph. And you can take those and then edit them a little bit more to kind of tweak them the way you want to. So in my case, I actually like most of what it's done. My taste, I wouldn't have put that big moon in the background. I wouldn't have necessarily had another Milky Way shot in there, but that's my taste. Your taste may be completely different. And I think that what it's done for processing of the architecture in the scene, to my mind, I think it looks very nice. And you may be able to go ahead and tweak that a little bit more. One thing I want to let you know, as far as looking at the interface here, Skylum has not finalized the design of the interface. So this is an example of what they're going to be showing you, but this is not the exact result that you're going to see when the software comes out. Here's another one. And again, you can see it's a different template. It's a different type of post-processing. They didn't replace the sky in this one. They enhanced it. And you can see that there are other options here recommended. And for creative landscape, fast fix, cinematic, and Toscana, those are things I've yet to see in person. I haven't got my hands on the software, but I'm kind of interested. I'm a person who typically doesn't like presets, but I'm curious as to see what some of these are that have been created in Luminar AI, because I'm just liking what I see in the screenshots that they've shared with us so far. If I didn't want to do that, if you look next to templates, you'll see where it says edit. So you still have tools that you can go back to. And here's one with a portrait. So you can see that the recommendations for portraits are different than the recommendations for landscape. So you've got a few different types. If you want to go with something that's just easy to go with, something that's black and white, experimental. And then you see the, what's it called? Filmatic. That's the one that you see on the screen. To me, that's kind of like maybe an Instagram look. The one next to it says lifestyle. That might be more toward the line of what I would go with, but I'm curious to see what the different templates are that they're going to have. Remember, it's going to analyze your photograph and recommend templates that may be good for you. You can choose them and tweak them. You can choose them and use them as they are. And you can just go click the edit button and do your own work. And that's really what I wanted to say here is, can I take control? Here's the edit menu for a couple of different scenes. So as you can see, you still have your Essentials tab. Underneath that was Creativity, the Portrait, and the Pro. So things that you're used to with Luminar 4, if you were using that, are still available here. Now, there's a couple things I don't see here, and I don't know if this is going to be elsewhere in the user interface because this isn't final. One thing I know, it's not going to have layers. And at first, that really bothered me. But when you get down to it, I use Lightroom all the time, and there are no layers in Lightroom. So I think what I was worried about there is not going to be an issue. Some of the folks I know and trust at Skylum have said, look, I've used Photoshop since day one. I was worried about it too. Then they showed me how the tools are that they have that you can use to achieve similar results that you would with layers. I want to see those tools myself too. But this is a person that I respect at Skylum who's used Photoshop quite a bit. He teaches Photoshop all the time. And now he's working with these tools. He's happy. The color grading options in Luminar 4 are some of the best that I've seen in any tool. So I think that we're going to continue to see that in Luminar AI, and perhaps maybe with a unique spin on how that happens. So here's another example with a portrait. You can see that there's some of the tools that we've already experienced as far as the amount for the skin retouching, the shine removal, and of course the AI skin defects. Now, there's a couple of things here that are new. The color one, I'm really curious and interested on how that's going to work with portrait, but also body AI. There are other tools out there that will reshape a body. We know that you can do some things with Liquify in Photoshop, and the Portrait Enhancer in Luminar 4 does some interesting things, just like the Liquify tool does in Photoshop, and also on One and some other products. So this is taking the same steps that other companies are doing. I'm curious to see how they apply it, but that's one of the things that you're going to find in Luminar AI is they're adding to the list of tools that you have to, again, get results rather than saying, okay, here's how you have to use this particular tool to drive this result when it wasn't necessarily designed for portraits. Apparently, the body AI is just a slider. Much like the AI accent tool, it's just one slider. And based upon its knowledge of the photographs that were used to train it, it gives you better results. And usually that's the way I'll start working on photographs in Luminar. I don't go to the light trying to start adjusting exposure values and contrast values. I go to that AI accent and I just start sliding that. It does the heavy lifting for me. Then I can decide if I want to go back and work on something else to enhance or tweak the way the results came from the AI tool. So what's the advantage of using Luminar AI? Let's dig into this. As I mentioned, you get AI recommendations to edit your photographs. That's based upon training of what I'm told is about 50,000 photographs. It's giving that information and training the neural network to see what's good, what's not, what should a sky look like, what should a sunset look like, what should a portrait look like, and so on. The idea is that this is much faster. You're not working on processes. The emphasis is really going to be on the results. That said, there are still some creative tools in here. The Atmosphere AI is from the photo. There's a photograph that I saw on our meeting that unfortunately wasn't in the bundle that they gave me to share with you, but it was in a forest with the trees. And you could see as you looked back how the haze and fog was different from one tree to the next. And if you've seen fog in a forest before, you know, as you look further back, you just can't see anything. And it was really replicating that. That's part of the AI. It knows that you just don't slap on white and then say, okay, that's fog. It was just giving you those little wisps and curls in fog and the shapes that fog would naturally have. And the depth and dimension was really very, very well done, in my opinion. If you don't like the results from the Luminar tools or any AI tool, take over and edit it, change it, do what you want to with it. You're still going to have access to tools inside of Luminar AI. It is not a matter of you trusting that software and saying, this is all I can do. If you want to use it as a starting place and then tweak it, you can do that. If you want to just ignore the recommendations and start working on your software to create the photographs that you want, you can do that as well too. That was one of the things that was a complaint in the video that I heard. The gentleman said he would never use any software with AI in it. Then he spoke about Photoshop. And I thought, well, Adobe has something called Adobe Sensei. If you use Lightroom or Photoshop, you're using a tool with AI in it. And in my mind, there are different types of AI tools. There are some that help you make decisions as far as how you're going to post-process and color your photographs, how you're going to tone them. There are others that perform tasks for you. So for example, if you need to select something, for example, if you're using Photoshop and you use content-aware tools, then that's the AI at work. It's making decisions. They exist to do the heavy lifting for you. And to me, the idea that I would never use AI tools is not something that I would reject right offhand. I will use them. I will see what they do. Now, there's also the concern, do they limit your creative vision? In other words, once you've seen what the AI says to do you know what you would have done if it hadn't existed? I think in some cases that might be true. In other cases, you might just go with the flow and work it from there. That definitely gives you speed. It definitely helps you get your job done sooner. It may change the way that you perceive the photograph. You don't have to use the templates and use the AI to start with. You can make your own creative decisions. Is it a creativity killer? It depends upon how you choose to use Luminar AI. If you're interested, Luminar AI is not out yet, but let me tell you what's going on. And I want to tell you right up front, big fat letters. I'm an affiliate for Skylum and Luminar AI. I'm also an affiliate for Adobe Creative Cloud and other software tools. So it's part of how I pay the bills to keep my channel running and keep my business going. If you purchase based upon my recommendation, I'll get a small commission, and thank you very much for that. It's due out in the 2020 holiday season. There is no more specific date than that. I'm guessing December, but they have not committed to a date at Skylum to say when this is going to be out. You can order now, and I hate the word pre-order because I don't understand the difference between pre-order and order, but you can go ahead and place an order now. Everyone who places an order will get access to Luminar AI Insiders community. And it is just what it sounds like. It's a community. You can talk with other people. There are frequently asked questions. There are webinars. There are tutorials and articles going on in there. It's there to help you learn more about Luminar AI before it comes out, but also to get more information once it comes out as far as how you can use it and what kind of creative things you can do with it. If you are an existing Skylum customer who already owns a Luminar product, I think Luminar 4 or Aurora HDR, basically you get a $10 discount. Luminar AI is going to be $64 for existing customers of those products. If you don't own those things, it will be $74 US. I don't know if the product price is going to be going up after it ships or not. So I'm not going to tell you that this is the discounted price. I'm just going to tell you this is the information that I have right now. There is a 30-day money-back satisfaction guarantee. If you do not like it, you can get your money back. It's that simple. And I'm going to say there is no risk. Your 30 days starts not when you pay now, if you decide to place an order, but when you receive Luminar AI. So you'll have the tool in your hands, and that's when your 30 days starts. If you don't like it, then just say, okay, I don't like this. I would like my money back. And from what I understand, it is a no questions asked guarantee. You'll get your refund if you decide that you do not like it. If you'd like to order, this is my affiliate link. You can go to williambeem.com/Luminar AI. And as I said, I'm an affiliate. I'll get a small commission. There is no extra cost to you, but I appreciate it if you decide to purchase based upon my information and what I've shared with you, and also what I'm going to continue to share with you. I've been doing Luminar 4 videos here. I will continue to do videos for Luminar AI and teaching more as we go. So I'm hoping that is helpful to you and that this is something that you'll be interested in using. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. This is something that I'm going to continue to share as I get more information. So if you like this video, please go ahead, hit the like button. And if you're interested in more information coming up or some of the other tutorials that I do, please go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell notification so that way you'll get an alert every time that I post a video here. I try to do at least once a week. Sometimes I'm doing 2 or 3, and I'm looking for your feedback. Let me know what's interesting to you and how I can help you best. I'll be happy to do so. Thanks. We'll see you in the next video.